Hey guys, welcome back to Mind Over Miller. If you're listening to this on Sunday morning, thank you for spending part of your day with me. Whether you're wrapping up your weekend, easing into some rest, or mentally preparing for the week ahead, I'm really glad you're here. I don't take that lightly. There's something really scarce about choosing to slow down for a moment, choosing to listen, choosing to reflect, especially in a world that rarely gives us permission just to be. In a world that constantly tells us to hustle, to push forward, to keep moving, to stay productive, choosing to pause is powerful. Choosing to sit with your emotions, your thoughts, your breath, that's brave. And choosing to let someone else's words meet you where you are, whether you feel okay or not, is something I deeply respect. Sometimes, even pressing play is an act of self-care. And sometimes, it's an act of survival. And whichever one this is for you today, I'm honored to be with you, truly, because it means you trusted this space with your heart, even just a little bit. With Thanksgiving coming up, everything starts to shift. The energy feels different. Talk of who's cooking, where you're going, what traditions you're keeping alive, and who will be sitting around your table fills the air. Grocery stores get packed, cars get loaded, group chats buzz with plans and options and menus. Calendars start filling at a pace that almost feels overwhelming. There's a rush, a pressure, a sense that everything needs to be perfect, coordinated, and meaningful. And for a lot of people, this season is warm. It's cozy, it's nostalgic, it's laughter and familiar recipes, and being surrounded by people who feel like home. It's the smell of food filling the house, the creak of the floor as people move around the kitchen, the sound of laughter echoing through the hallways, the clinking of plates and silverware, the inside jokes that only make sense to your family, the couch that suddenly fits way too many people, the photos that get taken every year in the same spot, the memories that feel like home, the comfort of knowing where you belong. And that joy matters. It's important to honor that. It's important to celebrate what you have. Gratitude is beautiful. Togetherness is beautiful. Memory making is beautiful. Feeling safe is beautiful. Feeling connected is beautiful. Feeling held is beautiful. But I also want to gently hold space for another truth, one that doesn't always get spoken about loudly enough. Thanksgiving and the other holiday seasons as a whole is not happy for everyone. And I'm reminded of that often through my work with students. As a school social worker, I've learned that even something as simple as a break isn't always something kids look forward to. For some students, school is a safe space that they know. It's structure, it's consistency, it's warmth, it's meals, it's stability. It's the one space where they know what to expect and who will show up for them. For some, the classroom is their calm. The counselor's office is their safe space. The routine is what keeps them grounded. The familiar faces are what keep them breathing a little easier. The bell schedule is their sense of time. The morning greeting is their sense of belonging. So while some kids are excited to go home and to be surrounded by family and comfort, others are quietly bracing themselves for days that feel uncertain, unsafe, or lonely. Sometimes breaks can mean a loss of routine, a loss of predictability, a loss of safe adults, a loss of emotional regulation, a loss of consistency. Breaks mean long hours without structure, long stretches of uncertainty, long periods without a place that feels secure. Long moments where their nervous system stays on edge. And sometimes, the very thing the world celebrates as a privilege feels heavy, scary, or lonely to someone else. I think about the students who won't have anyone asking about their day, the ones who dread walking through their front door, the ones who don't have a fun break story to share when they return, the ones who feel safer in a classroom than in their own home, the ones who go quiet when everyone else gets loud with excitement, the ones who have learned to mask their fear behind smiles. And I always try to be mindful of that, because it reminds me, even the most celebrated times of the year, can carry heaviness for someone else. And that doesn't only apply to students. It applies to adults too. For some people, Thanksgiving highlights the family that they don't have, the person who's missing from the table, the chair that now sits empty, the voice that used to say grace, the laugh that once filled the room, the traditions that feel different now. For some, the holidays reopen wombs that never fully closed. For others, it's the first Thanksgiving without someone they loved. For some, it's strained relationships that never found healing. For some, it's navigating toxic environments for the sake of tradition. For some, it's financial stress, grief, loneliness, or trauma tied to expectations that were never fair. For some, this season feels like love. For others, it feels like survival. And for many, it feels like a complicated mix of both. And both experiences deserve space. Both experiences deserve compassion. Both experiences deserve to be honored. This isn't about guilt. It's not about minimizing joy. It's not about dimming your light. It's not about making anyone feel bad for celebrating. It's about awareness. It's about empathy. It's about remembering that while we celebrate what we have, someone else might be silently navigating what they don't. So yes, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Be thankful, laugh, hug your people, share the meals, make the memories, take the photos, honor your traditions, sit around the table and talk about what you're grateful for. Let yourself feel wrapped in the warmth of it all. But also, be gentle. Be gentle with the people around you, with your words, with your judgments, with your expectations. Be gentle with the way you show up. Check in on the person who seems quieter than usual. Reach out to someone who might not have plans. Offer warmth to the coworker who feels a little distant. Hold grace for the student who didn't seem excited about break. Notice the people who sit alone. See the ones who linger in the doorways. Acknowledge the people who might feel invisible. Extend kindness without needing a reason. Sometimes a simple moment of kindness becomes someone's entire sense of safety for the day. A text message, an invitation, a warm smile, a thinking of you, a you matter, a you're not alone, a pause to truly listen. These small gestures carry more weight than we realize. And to anyone listening who doesn't feel excited about the holidays, I want you to hear this. You're not wrong for feeling the way you do. You're not ungrateful. You're not too sensitive. You're not broken. You're responding to your lived experience, your story, your memories, your reality, your heart. You're allowed to feel heavy during the season that tells you to feel light. You're allowed to feel grief while others feel joy. You're allowed to feel lonely while others feel surrounded. You're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to opt out. You're allowed to rest. You don't have to force happiness. You don't have to fake cheer. You don't have to show up where you don't feel safe. You don't have to explain your boundaries. You don't have to justify your healing. Your version of Thanksgiving is valid, even if it's quiet, even if it's complicated, even if it looks nothing like the movies, even if it looks like staying home in your pajamas, even if it looks like ordering takeout, even if it looks like a simple moment of solitude, even if it looks like deep breaths just to get through the day. And if you're somewhere in the middle, enjoying parts of it while struggling with others, that space matters too. Healing isn't linear, and neither are the holidays. You can laugh and cry in the same day. You can feel gratitude and grief in the same heartbeat. You can love deeply and still ache. There is room for all of it. There is room for your complexity. There is room for your emotions. There is room for your truth. So as we move into this week, let's try to lead with softness. Let's try to slow down just a little bit. Let's try to look at the world through a lens of compassion instead of assumption. Let's try to remember that celebrating our blessings doesn't mean forgetting someone else's pain. And maybe the truest form of gratitude is awareness, empathy, gentleness, compassion for others, and compassion for ourselves. If you're listening and this season feels hard, I see you. You're not invisible. You're not dramatic. You're not weak. Your heart matters, even on the days that feel heavy, especially on those days. You matter even when the world feels loud. You matter even when you feel small. You deserve gentleness. You deserve comfort. You deserve softness. You deserve moments of peace, even if they're small. You deserve to breathe. And if this season feels joyful for you, I hope you soak that in. I hope you cherish it. I hope you allow yourself to feel surrounded by it. I hope you carry that joy with awareness, knowing that kindness and celebration can exist side by side. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. Move gently through this season. Give yourself grace when things feel big. Give yourself permission when things feel tender. Give yourself space to be human. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to do it honestly. And remember, you're worthy of warmth. You're worthy of comfort. You're worthy of compassion, especially from yourself.